Welcome to the MeMyddleton Show, Episode 5, titled Readers, Giving and Receiving. Ever wanted to find out unforeseen information regarding your love life, career, family, approaching dangers or auspicious blessings? To get this information and more, one would go seek out people who specializes in this. They go by many terms: reader, diviner, priest, priestess, etc. You may find out that they specialize in certain areas, such as past life readers, or astrology readers, tarot card readers, pendulum readers, human design readers, OB readers, love readers, candle readers, tea leaf readers, palm readers, and etc. Some of you have experienced some of these different types and methods of reading. You are either on the receiving end or the giving end. For either end, I'm speaking to all newbies, seeing as how the MeMyddleton Show is for the neo-spiritualists. If you've never received a reading, or if you received one or two readings, this episode is for you. If you are brand spanking new to the world of giving readings, at least giving readings for less than a year, this episode is for you too. Welcome to the MeMyddleton Show, a place to encourage neo-spiritualists to laugh, love, and learn, while we virtually walk through topics of the spiritual, magical, natural, and occultic worlds. I am your host, Evina. You have now entered the MeMyddleton Show. The first group of people I want to speak to are the receivers, the ones who are seeking spiritual advice. I need to speak on some of the don'ts and do's of receiving a spiritual reading. One don't that I like to talk about is to don't demand the turnout of your reading. Here's what I mean. Let's say you go to your spiritual advisor or a spiritual reader and you're trying to find out if your mate or spouse or whoever you're with, and this is a love reading, that your mate or your spouse, your baby daddy, baby mama, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you want to call these titles, or you think they're cheating on you. And you're trying to find out if they're cheating on you. And the diviner gives you an answer. Let's say the diviner says, no, they're not cheating on you. And then you're demanding, yes, they are, because I saw this in the cell phone. I heard a conversation. Yada, yada. You go through all of these. Okay, so if you knew, why are you spending money to ask for some spiritual person's advice? What, to try to see if they're telling the truth or not? If you know so much, why are you doing this? Especially if the diviner sees differently than what you think you see, because perception is one thing. But what is the actual truth? Your mate might have certain conversations, but are those conversations vulgar or inappropriate? Or are you just in some weird, tyrannic ego thinking that any conversation is inappropriate? That's not practical. Your mate may just be talking to someone of the opposite sex for whatever reason that might be practical, work-related maybe. I had this, my spiritual leader, or my babalawo, as they call it at Ifa, my priest, being that he was teaching me things, we text each other a lot. I'm a married woman, happily married woman, mind you, and whom my Baba has met. And my Baba, I looked at him like my father. He is an elder with immense experience and knowledge, and we text each other a lot. And I'm not the only godchild that he communicates with. He communicates with few more of his other godchildren. So I'm trying to go to sleep one day so I can get up and go to work. My phone ringing, and it's a weird number I never seen before. And I'm thinking it was my son because at the time my son didn't have his phone on and he might be calling me from any number. So I'm trying to be available to him. I answer the phone and it's some woman. As I answered the phone, thank you very much for calling. How can I assist? Yes, who was this? Lord, what is that on the other line on my other end of my phone talking to me, waking me up? I'm like, but lady, you're calling me, so who are you? It was my response. How are you calling me, asking me who I am? No, honey, you're calling my phone. Who are you? So she asked me, she told me her name, and she asked me if I knew blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say my baba's name, but yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, yeah, okay, and you've been texting my husband back and forth? Okay, your husband, slow down, honey. What you're doing now is wrong. Yeah, I text him a lot. And we talk about a lot, but nothing inappropriate. I hold myself with dignity and grace. So why are you calling me, asking me if I'm texting him? Well, I don't want you texting my husband because I don't think that's appropriate for what you're doing. Honey, do you know what a babalawo is? Did he tell you that that's what he is? I'm sure he did. So you do understand that he talks to all of his godchildren? And some of us might have some things to talk about. And I talk to him a lot, and he talks to me a lot. While you noticing the long text messages, have you read any of them? Do any of them sound inappropriate? Or are you just on some kind of high horse thinking that talking to him, period, is inappropriate? It's his job, honey. You mean to tell me you woke me up for some bullshit? Bitch, do you want these problems? Don't call me with this bullshit no more, acting irresponsible like some kind of little 20-year-old little teeny bobble. Don't call me with that no more. I'm too old for that. So she got quiet with a little bit of stutter. Okay, I'm sorry, click. Oh, yeah, I was pissed. You calling me? Worry me because you found a text message? You think, oh, my man is doing something wrong? When nothing, absolutely nothing in those text messages were inappropriate at all. He's my spiritual leader. We ain't talking about nothing inappropriate at all. But it is his job to talk to his godchildren. So if you're one of them kind of people who are tyrannical and want to control everything unethically and impractically, don't go to no reader with your impractical, tyrannical attitudes. You might get told about and thinking that your mate is doing something inappropriate. Get the facts first, especially if the reader is giving you the facts. The person might be telling you, nah, they're not cheating. But I saw the testament. Okay, well, the spirit is telling me, or these cards, or this pendulum, or this shells, or this whatever medium I'm using is saying, nah, he's not. So now what? You going to demand that your mate is doing something that you see because of what you thought and you wasn't armed with the correct amount of information? Don't do that. Don't waste diviners' times with your cuckoo-ness. Go take your medicine. Check out my website at www.helpbyevena.com. That's HelpByevenah.com. View merchandise, get a consultation, and listen to all episodes of the MeMyddleton Show. Here's another don't that I like to touch on. And that don't is, don't demand a consultation, especially when you think you're demanding consultation. You're getting a consultation by flashing money. I'm here to tell you, flashing money might get you messed up. So instead of demanding a consultation, ask to schedule a consultation. Story time. So to protect those that are involved in this story, I'm not naming no names. I'm going to be as bland as possible in telling this story, but it's a true story. So you have a guy who's a high expert, high-ranking diviner in his field or path of choice. He went out of town to gain even more knowledge in a different path quite similar to his original path, but a little different path than what he was in. He went to a place, and the people of that place denied him. And they denied him because they said, you're not a part of this bloodline. And we're very strict about who gains the knowledge and information of this particular path. And he flashed his little money, and the people still said, no. So he went to other places, and they all said no. And they're not just saying no straight up front. They give a reading, they do some divinations to find out for themselves if it's appropriate to help the individual, and they all came up with no. So he went to another group of people of the same spiritual path, and the group of people did a read and found out that he'd been trying to get by and get his way the whole time because he got some money. He think he can get whatever being an American has taught us that money buys anything. Nah, money buy you this ass whooping. So they said, okay, we'll take your money, but you finna learn a very hard lesson because you ain't learned yet that when someone says no, we mean no. They took the money, had a whole ritual ceremony, initiation, and taught them everything and blah, 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 blah. This individual thought he could bring it back to America and teach Americans this information when he wasn't even supposed to get it because they're saying you have to be of this bloodline to get this information. And here you go finna pass it off to non-blood people. We don't know if they're part of this or not. And then, evil is and evil does. The oppressors, the evil ones, they're out there listening, getting on the internet world will get this information we've been trying to keep from them. And you think you're finna just come out there and take it and give it? Oh, no, baby. The devil is a liar. You're going to learn today. This person made it to America. 6 days later, they died. Spirit don't play. Do not trifle with spirit. They say no. No means no. This is not bargaining for a car or a house or a promotion or whatever it is, some regular stuff that you're used to seeing in capitalistic world. Spirit world and the world of divining and dealing in different spiritual paths and religions, don't play them games. This ain't, capitalism. No means no. So, don't go demanding a consultation. Ask to schedule a consultation. And if you're rejected for a consultation, inquire why and ask for a referral. And if all of those are still negative, no, you're not getting anywhere, well, don't keep going to the next person in the same genre trying to demand something by flashing money. Just leave it alone. Go to a whole nother different genre. Go to somewhere else. Go try Jesus. Go do something else. Because if no is no, no is no. Because you don't want those problems. Oh, here's another good one as far as receiving readings. Let's say it's one of those in-person readings or it's over the phone, especially now that we're in the age of COVID with the whole social distancing thing. You might have to receive readings online or over the phone or at a safe distance socially. Don't be late and don't be too early. I was taught by one of my elders, to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. To be late is just disrespectful. If you're one of those people that like to be early, that's fine. You're talking about 30 minutes early, an hour early. I know you lying. Don't do that. You do realize the diviners have, lives before you and after you. That they might have other things that they are doing. They might even be preparing for your reading. They might even be with a client before you. And here you come disturbing their groove or whatever they're doing because you're early. Don't do that. Oh, that's the least of your problems, though, being early. How about being late? So I want to share a story, and I've seen this type of thing happen before. But there was someone who shared a story with me about how someone was scheduled to be at a diviner's home. And it wasn't even for divination. It was for a ritual. But still, this all applies. They were scheduled to be at the diviner's home at a particular time. We're going to say 2 o'clock just for sake of the story. And 2 o'clock arrived and customer didn't. 2:30 came around, but the customer didn't. 3 o'clock came around, but the customer didn't. Here's what we're not going to do. Wait a whole hour for you. There was no phone calls. There was no respect of time, no phone call, no anything to say, hey, I'm running late. This is happening. I'm sorry, yada, yada. None of that was going down. So what the diviner did, he packed up his thing because that time was blocked for his client to perform a ritual for him. And it was a 4-hour block that it was set aside for him. So since now he ain't got nothing to do with that 4-hour block, he packed up his children and his wife and said, let's go to the park and have some fun. Packed up toys for the children, packed up some food, sandwiches and fruit and whatever for, to go for a picnic and enjoy themselves at the nearby park. Went and had fun. 3:30, 3:45 come around, his phone rings. The person on the other end is the client, who is now almost 2 whole hours late. The client is expressing, I'm here. The diviner is like, you're where? I'm at your house. I'm knocking on your door. He said, oh, but I'm not there. He said, oh, but I'm here. So I thought we was going to do the ritual. Yeah, we were supposed to do the ritual at 2 o'clock and you did not call me, said anything, let me know that you were running late. So, and you expect me to sit there and twiddle my thumb and wait for you when I do have a life outside of you? I have a family and everything to deal with, other clients to deal with. So he left. But I have all of these materials. I have these animals. I have these candles. I have all these incense. I have all of these other materials, these herbs that you told me to gather. What am I supposed to do with it? Well, let the diviner explain, and he responds, it sounds like a personal problem, but you can reschedule if you like. So the diviner continues to enjoy his family, and I don't know what happened to the customer. And I know you don't want that to be you. So what you want to do is be on time. If you know you're going to be running late, a courtesy call, a courtesy text, or some type of communication with the diviner who has set aside a block of his life or her life for you. You can at least have a little common courtesy and respect to let them know that you're running late. Oh, yeah, here's another good one I want to talk about. Talking over the diviner or reader while receiving your reading. Ooh, that is such a no-no. Don't disturb this groove. Here's what I mean. Have you ever, you're minding your business, you're going about your day, and then the song comes on the radio? Oh, it is your jam. The kind of music that you're busy cleaning the house or you're working at work and you're busy doing other things, but then you hear the first few notes of your favorite song and you stop everything, and the first words that come out of your mouth are, ooh, this is my song, or ooh, this is my jam, and you start dancing and swaying or singing along with the music, and you in your groove, and this is your song, especially if you ain't heard it in so long. You're just in this magical flow of going with your song, and then somebody comes and interrupts you because they want to have a conversation. Well, anyway, girl, hey, brother, let me talk to you about this, and then they start talking over the song, and you ain't trying to hit them. They got to wait a minute. They need to be quiet long enough for this song to be finished. Or at least to get to your favorite part of the song. But don't disturb this groove. Don't you hate when people do that? Diviners hate when you do it too. So, cause what happens a lot of times when the message is being delivered, a lot of times it's channeled information. So it's a flow of energy that's being pumping into the diviner. And they're spewing out, they're not going to remember what's said. It's not in their head. It's not coming from them, from within them. This is coming from source. This is coming from source energy. And they're blessed to be the open vessel to receive that information from source energy to deliver to your disrespectful behind. So while they're flowing and saying whatever it is that they're saying, because it's not in their head, it's just flow. This is outside information being blessed to them to give blessing to you. And then here you go, want to interrupt them while they're trying to, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay, so I got a question about what you just said about element and O, P, and P. So what you mean by that? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let them finish everything in a reading. Let them flow. Let them continue saying everything what they're saying. So I know you're wondering, well, what if I don't catch everything or remember everything that they said and I have questions? Have a pencil and paper nearby. As a matter of fact, before the reading begins, or when you initially schedule for your reading, ask the diviner if it's okay if you can record them. Some of them, won't have a problem with it. Some of them will. Some of them have exceptions. Yeah, you can record it, but I need a copy of it. Or whatever other type of protocol or exception that the reader will have in order for you to record your reading session. Because even while you're writing down the question, you could be missing the important information that the reader is saying. So I personally suggest recording your divination session or your reading session so that you can go back to that recording and pick up on things you may have missed. You can listen to it as many times as you need to see if you can understand what's going on. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, ask after that reading is done in that session, because the next don't is something that upsets me the most. What would you like to see on the MeMyddleton Show? Do you have any suggestions? Send them over to MeMyddleton@gmail.com and I will be super happy to read your suggestions. So it's not like it upsets me the most, because there are some very annoying things to mention when it comes to a client requesting a reading from a diviner. But this one right here really grinds my gears. So let's say one day you have an appointment for a reading session. The diviner gives you your readings. They ask you questions. Everything's good? Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much for coming to me, getting a reading. Enjoy the rest of your day. And you're like, okay, thank you, bye-bye. And a day or 2 or 3 later, get in contact with the reader for free. That's the biggest one. Talking about, so you remember when you gave me that reading a couple of days ago? What do you mean by blah, 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 ABC, XYZ? Don't do that. No. What are you doing? That session was over with. How are you calling me or inboxing me or emailing me or contacting me or whatever medium you're using, trying to ask me about a reading we were through with for free? I really don't recommend readers to do that, but there are some readers that would be like, well, if you have any questions or comments about that particular reading or, something going on, you can always come back and talk to me about it. Some of them do that. I don't recommend that. There's nothing really business savvy about that. Your time is being occupied for free for nothing. And we have a helpful spirit and we want to help. And I'm going to talk about that in the next segment. But for the customer, for the client that's receiving the reading, ask all your questions that you want to ask. If you have any other further questions, comments, or concerns, please come happily wanting to pay for another session, another consultation with that person about that previous session if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns. I can understand that a lot of times the question that didn't pop up at the time might have taken a couple of days, especially if you recorded it and you heard something that really caught your attention a couple of days later in the recording that you have questions about. Set up another appointment, pay for that other session, and see if it's okay that you could talk about that with the diviner later. Show gratitude and appreciation for their time to talk about some old stuff we already talked about, so that way you can get clarity. I am a huge supporter of gaining clarity of what's going on in your reading, But I'm also a huge supporter of showing gratitude for that person or that diviner giving of their time to help you about your personal life, not their personal life, your personal life. So here's another one of those annoying situations. Don't expect a free reading from your friend who's a diviner. That's plain old disrespectful. And that's not being a good friend. Being a good friend is actually paying your friend who you're blessed with. Not everybody know a diviner personally. You happen to know a diviner personally. And you think you're going to get a free reading? Now, I'm going to talk to my diviners in the next segment when it comes to giving free readings. That's not really a good suggestion, a good thing to do. We'll talk about that. But for those of you who are receiving the reading, you're not a good friend asking for a free reading. Because what we had to go through, I'm still going through, and I ain't finished. But the things that we had to go through, that's like a doctor, right? Or a nail tech, or anyone that had to go to college for whatever field that they are in. They had to pay tuition. That's money. They had to pay their time, the 4, 5, 6, 8, 12 years of school, up all night writing dissertations and papers and studying and lab work and research and missing out on their families because they're too busy studying, and family supported them. We're trying to understand, although, we're missing you, but we know that you're sacrificing your time so that you can be a great whatever it is you're spending all this money for in school. So all of this sacrificing and the time and the energy spent, it's the same thing in the spiritual community. There's a lot of us that have to go somewhere to a school. We're not talking about like a traditional college or anything like that, to go learn under a master teacher of sorts, a priest or priestess or whatever spiritual leader that would teach us and show us the ropes. And even if for those of us who were blessed to have teachers, we opened up books. I'm not really in favor of the YouTube or Wikipedia learners. That's something different. That's just like trusting a doctor who got their degree from the YouTube School of Medicine. You're not finna doctor on me with that level of education. Sorry. But same thing. We, purchasing books and we're studying and we're practicing and it have these weird, scary experiences because they're brand new to us. Paying for equipment, paying for tools, sacrificing time and money. That money could have been spent on something else, but we spent it on buying these tools and spent on learning and growing in these things, especially for those of us who actually learned up under a master. Go through initiation processes. That's something else. And those things ain't cheap. In a lot of cases, you're paying tens of thousands of dollars. That sounds like a tuition. But you want a free reading? So since when you ever went to the doctor's office and got a free appointment, whatever it is that you're doing to go to the doctor for? A free surgery. What is that? Now, for those of you who are receiving government help, like Medicaid, Medicare. I used to receive Medicaid. I get it. WIC, food stamps. But it was welfare back in the day. Then it turned to TANF for those of us who live in the state of Georgia. I was there. I received all that. I get it. I understand that. You need a leg up, need to step up, needed some help. I get it. Somebody paid for that on your behalf. So it's not like it was for free still. That doctor got paid for you. You didn't just walk in and they just did it for free. They didn't do it for free. You didn't come out your pocket. The state did. So the doctor still got paid for you to have whatever procedure that you needed to have. So what make you think that it is appropriate to ask for a free reading or even slick your way into a free reading by having these weird conversations with your friend? Girl, let me ask you, let me pick your brain about this. So this is what happened, right? Then you go on with your story. Next thing you know, your friend then gave you, within an hour, hour and a half, your friend done gave you about 4 readings. Was that really, you're the devil. Is that really ethical, kind, respectful to your so-called friend? You're not a friend. You're a user. What I need you to do is pay your friend something. Reciprocity, honey. You don't want these ugly karmas coming back at you. And for those of you who are kind of like with the left hand mentality of thinking, you don't believe in karma. Okay, that's fine. Something going to fall on you. Then you're going to wonder that's something different. It got nothing to do with you being underhanded or disrespectful or unkind or unethical or unpractical by trying to get a free reading, weasel your way through something with your so-called friend. You're not a friend. Respect that person's expertise, your friend's expertise, their talent and skills in being a diviner, and give them something. The last thing I want to touch on for those of you who are receivers of reading, seeking spiritual advice, and a lot of times we don't know how to find somebody who is a diviner, someone you can trust with your personal information. You're asking somebody, a stranger, in a lot of cases, to help you with your very personal situations. Here's something I can't stand. And it really makes those of us who are genuine and those of us who are true readers, who have ethics about ourselves when we do what we do, this right here tears us up. Makes us look bad. It won't tear us up individually because who we are as diviners, if we're standing in truth gonna stand alone by itself. We don't need, nothing razzle dazzle around it to justify or qualify us. What I'm talking about is, for those clients that's out here looking for readers, if you ever get somebody in your inbox talking about hi, greetings, and then give you some beautiful salutation of abundance and blessings and that kind of thing, and saying that they are a reader and they can help you with ABC, XYZ in your personal life, or come in your inbox saying that you are cursed or you need protection over you and you need help right now because I can see it. Hey, don't fall for that. Has your pastor ever come knocking at your door saying that you need some help, and if you don't hurry up and buy this Bible or buy this holy water or receive my prayers, that the devil gonna get you? Did you ever see it? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of somebody's pastor come knocking at your door saying all of this hoopla at you. Now, they don't come to us. We come to them. Clients come to the readers for help. The readers don't come to you soliciting. That's unethical. What we look like? That's like scammers. That's what that looks like. So for those of you who are looking, this is the World Wide Web. There ain't no way you can tell me that you can't find an ethical, or at least somewhat ethical person that can help you. You can find somebody, especially in this day and age where this is becoming quite saturated with diviners. You can find one. But if somebody comes into your DM, direct message you, or in your inbox, or they come at you saying how I can help you and or you need help with that kind of thing, that's a scam. Don't do it. Leave them alone. Don't spend your money. You'll regret it. Check out my website at www.helpbyevena.com. That's HelpByEvenah.com. View merchandise, get a consultation, and listen to all episodes of the MeMyddleton Show. Now I want to talk to my newbie readers that picked up this inspiration to share your gifts and assist in healing the world one person at a time. If you've been given readings for less than a year, or you're about to begin, this portion of this episode is for you. Have you or anyone you know ever applied for a job but was rejected employment due to not having experience? I know I've experienced this rejection before. Did you say something like, how am I going to get the experience if they won't let me experience it? Like a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right? You have to begin, right? I encourage newly recognized lightworkers to begin the journey of helping humanity with their special skills. However, there are some don'ts and do's to consider. So one of the do's that I would like to touch on is to seek guidance and come with a helping love intention. When you get into this work, your whole intention is to want to help humanity. You want to help a person, one being at a time, with their personal issues. Whether if it's a loving relationship or whether it's a job or career, whether it's the next move for tomorrow. You want to make sure that you are helping them go in the correct direction that they desire or need to go. What we don't want you to do is to come with the intention of you in the spiritual hustle game mentality. That will get you a beautiful membership card in the charlatan club. You don't want to be a fake. Don't be such a heartless evil something or another because you want to make some money, destroying folks' lives left and right. You believe that there are people out there that are true charlatans that actually believe within their heart that they are actually helping somebody and they're just tearing up lives left and right? Especially when you're brand new to this. Don't go in there with the spirit of trying to get money. And if you're too busy chasing money, then you don't need to be divining, because money is supposed to be flowing to you easily and effortlessly from various known and unknown sources to you safe and sound without you worrying about hurting anybody, right? How are you divining helping somebody else and you out here struggling thinking you need and chasing money? Remember the formula of a chase, that as you are running after that desire, or in this case running after that money, the money is running away from you. Here's another do that I like to touch on. Do learn your spiritual tools. Just because you just recently went to your local botanica or went to Amazon.com and purchased you a tarot card or some cowrie shells or a pretty pendulum with a beautiful stone on the end of it, and you used it one time and it was just the most magnificent, outstanding reading for yourself, you just swung the thing one time, or you throw down a couple of cards, or threw a shell. You didn't learn everything there is to learn about those tools. Did you know how to clean them? Are you using your tools all the time, every time, without cleaning them? Learn how to use your tools. As long as I've been using pendulums, I just recently found 2 new ways that the pendulum can give me answers. So as time go on and more you use this particular spiritual tool, the more evolved that tool will grow for you and helping giving you your answers. You just can't just go out willy-nilly, throw out a couple of cards, and all of a sudden you're an expert. Since when that work like that? That's just like a doctor looking on, or a doctor to be, or an aspiring doctor rather, learning everything there is about how to be a particular doctor on YouTube University. Saw a couple of videos and bam, he's an expert. Would you let him doctor on you? I personally would not. If you trust something like that, please stay all the way the far away from me. You want to learn how to use your tools, learn your spiritual tools, grow and develop with them, which brings me to another do. Insofar as using your tools and getting to know them, you want to start giving readings to friends and family who you know and trust, who trust and believe in what you're doing. Now, I'm not talking about going to Miss Holy and Thou grandmama who house you living up in, talking about some grandma want to give you a reading. You will be put out of her house with your hoodoo voodoo devilment. Don't do it. What I mean is you have a close friend who understands what you're doing or vibrating what you're doing, or at least just curious and wants to know what you're doing. And don't go around advertising, ooh, I give readings, ooh, I give readings. You'll be noted as a charlatan because you don't give readings. You don't. But if you like to try it out and try your muscles at giving readings to somebody else, go ahead. But before you do that, before you go around just reading folks, another thing you need to know as far as learning your spiritual tools is to ask your tools if it's okay to read them. I have 2 examples I want to illustrate with that. Around 2013, there was a beautiful sister who I still communicate with today. I was kind of sort of interested in the Ifa. I ain't know nothing about it, except I knew about the Orishas. That's about it. And the 7, I didn't know it was more than 7. 7 plus 1, Olodumare, the god, and I didn't even know his name back then. But anywho, I wanted to get a reading from this sister. And I went to her, I called the inbox to send messages or whatever, wanted to read. And so she called me and we're talking. And she told me that she has to ask her tools if it's okay to read me. I thought it was the strangest thing on the planet for her to say to me. Like, I asking you for a reading, of course it's okay. Who for to stop me? Who gonna check me, boo-boo? It was what I was thinking. So she did a reading. I don't know what spiritual tools she used at the time. I don't know if she used coconut shells, if she used cola nuts, if she used cowrie shells, or if she used the tarot cards or any other oracle deck. I don't know what she used, but she did a reading, and then she came back on the phone, and she said, "I'm sorry, sis, but Spirit told me that you're not ready for a reading." And in my mind, I'm like, how are they going to tell me I'm not ready? And I'm asking for it. So clearly I must be ready. Well, clearly what I was missing was whatever that I'm asking, especially utilizing her methods in giving readings, I wasn't ready to receive whatever it is that I needed to hear from that vehicle. And I had to respect it. Yes, my heart hurt. I didn't look at her sideways or anything. I looked at me sideways. Like, what's wrong with me? What I got on me? But, I can say that to this day, she gives me readings these days. I'm highly ready, and she's been giving me readings, and it has been well received, good, bad, and indifferent. Another story I want to give is so far as, just giving readings to folks without asking the tools. So I have a beautiful brother who his deck told him specifically that deck need to come to me. This person lived in a whole nother state somewhere else in the United States, and I live all the way in ATL. And the deck of cards said I need to go to Atlanta to be with Ivana. He followed the instructions. He talked to me about it first to make sure it was okay. He wasn't just going to send me some cards and I wasn't okay with it. But he talked to me to make sure it was okay. He explained to me everything that was going on. I thought he was a little weird, but I knew also, which that might be an episode in the future, of how instruments, especially tarot decks, are passed on to the next person. They're gifted to the next person who that deck needs to go to. And his particular deck said that it needed to come to me specifically for a reason. So he mailed it off to me. I received the deck and did my prayers, did my little hoo-ha over it, and did the reading. And it told me about myself in the most Saturn, mean, uncle, rules, restriction, limitation ways of speaking. Like, it really got in my behind, and I needed to hear it. But I understood why it needed to come to me. So then after some time of using it, I'm getting good at using this particular deck. I ain't foreign from using tarot cards. I've been doing this thing for years. But new to this particular deck, this one particular deck, I got plenty decks. I own plenty decks that been using for years. But this particular deck, and I'm talking to my husband, telling him about the most magnificent readings I've been getting from this deck. Like, oh my God, it's nothing like I've ever seen before. And he said, okay, I would like to get a reading. I said, sure, let me ask it. Like, I knew better. So I asked it, and it basically told me, without really literally saying, hell no. I came here for you and not for anyone else. Whoa, that means I bet not use this deck to read anybody else but me. I mean, it was stern about it too. It wasn't saying, nah, not right now, or no, dear, we're not here for anyone but you. It's in the nicest way said, hell no. We ain't reading your husband, your children, or anybody else but you. We are here only for you. I obeyed and told him my deck ain't studying you not one lick. It's fit for me. Sorry, baby, can't read you. So you want to ask your tools if it's okay to read that particular individual. It's not so much of getting permission. It might be something on that person because when you give readings, you are open into their portal, into their world, into their business. And they might have something on them that you don't need to be seeing or getting or attracting to yourself. Or it might be something simple as something what I went through, that individual wasn't ready for that deck of cards. Or 3, it could be, again, the situation what I had with my most recent deck is that particular deck ain't going to read that person. It ain't there for them. They're there for you. So here's a don't that I want to touch on. And that's, do not try to heal others when you are not healed yourself. Now, you would think that would be common sense, but it comes to my attention that in this day and time, the common sense ain't common. So I have to literally tell some of you that it is not okay that if you're not feeling well, if you have the flu or some other kind of sickness, if your head hurts, if your stomach hurts, if you haven't slept in a very long time and you are very sleepy or are busy, your schedule is too busy, and you're trying to squeeze in time to do spiritual work or give readings. Like you just got off of work at 5 o'clock, you get home at 5:30, you got to feed the kids, and then 7 o'clock you're trying to give a reading, and then at 7:30 you got to go do something else. No, please don't. You want to allot enough time between whatever it is that you're doing that's important to you, with a lot of rest, a lot of meditation, feeling good, smelling good. Do not do any kind of work and you ain't well yourself. That includes giving readings. That includes doing any kind of altar work, anything. It's not going to be good. It's not going to come off well. The reading can be thrown off quite significantly. You don't want those problems. And while giving readings, don't do it half-cocked or unprotected. Here's what I mean. Here's the one that kind of get on my nerves. I have to honestly say, I give thanks for the World Wide Web. I give thanks for the opportunity to be able to reach the world in such a dynamic way that I could talk to someone in a whole nother country without paying a long-distance phone bill, or be able to video chat with someone in the same way and be able to hear someone across the ocean. That's a beautiful thing. But when you are one of those people, brand spanking new, you've been throwing down tarot cards, or been tossing shells, or been spinning a pendulum a couple of times, and then you think, ooh, I can give readings. Ooh, I'm going to do what all these other people do and give online free readings. I'm going to talk about free in a minute. But give online free readings or give online donation readings. You don't know who looking at you. You don't know what's on them people who looking at you. You don't know what kind of powerful negativities or powerful positivities that's going on in these other people's lives. Okay, so you're doing a Facebook Live or YouTube Live or Instagram Live or any other social media live, and you're doing readings. You're giving readings at whatever rate. And there are people in your line or people in your video that's chatting with you, typing in things. Hi, I'm such and such from such and such place. Team Libra am. And you see who's chatting in the box. But do you know who's looking at you that ain't saying that? People who haven't peeped a word. Or even the ones that's talking loud and proud and taking up more of the talking spaces in the chat box. What's going on in their life? And then you trying to give them a reading, and they got energies as strong as the strongest deity we could think of. And I always like to use Zarabanda because Zarabanda is one of those very strong, very powerful, very demanding, the type of Devo that you can't look at him when evoked. You can't look at he's such a diva. It's like, how dare you gaze your eyes upon my glory and presence type of being. And then you got the Palo Santo or the Cascarea or the Florida water or the Efun or whatever other protection, frankincense, myrrh, sage, and you smudging and tapping on your body and tossing water on your body all kind of ways, thinking you're protecting yourself against energies as powerful as somebody like Zarabanda. You know what that look like? That's like a BB pellet against a woolly mammoth. What are you going to do? If it notices that you done shot at it through its woolly wool, if it even feels any of that, you done pissed it off probably at the worst. It ain't vanquished it or removed the energy out of the way. The elephant or the woolly mammoth ain't going to hightail it away from you in fear of its life or its existence. Probably going to piss it off and get stampede on. Do you want them problems? This, again, is for the neo-spiritualists. We ain't talking about the highly advanced people. If you want the highly advanced information on how to protect yourself against energies like that, first step, meditation. Meditation and meditation. Second step, practice some more practice to build up your spiritual muscles. That's the beginning. There's a whole lot more to go with that. Definitely depends on which spiritual path you are on and what kind of training you receive in that path. And if you're receiving training from a very powerful individual, they know their stuff. So, yeah, don't give readings, whether if it's in person, whether if it's over the phone, or whether if it's over the World Wide Web. Protect yourself. I really don't support for newbies. I'm half and half. No, I'm not even half and half. I'm mostly no than yes, insofar as don't give readings online like that in a massive way. You'll have symptoms. You will develop symptoms. One of the biggest symptoms is back pains, headaches, lethargy, shoulder pains. And you do your regular routine when you have it on a regular situation, but it's not going away to a point that you might end up seeing a doctor like, my back has not stopped hurting. I don't know why my head won't stop hurting, or I have all these pains in my shoulders and it's not going away. Because you got spirits in your house, in your grandma's house. You done invite some extra stuff up in your grandma's house, and you ain't had no business because you thought you knew what you was doing and you didn't. So yeah, don't give readings half-cocked. And don't give readings while you're sick or not even healed yourself or too sleepy or too busy to do it. Here's a do that I want to touch on. Do remember that there is no such thing as free readings. Now, the first thing that's going to come to your mind is monetary. I'm not necessarily talking about monetary. And when I am talking about monetary, I definitely am not talking about charging people high dollar rates for your obviously beginning level reading skills or divination skills. You hustling, you're a charlatan, and people will point you out. Those who are real will point you out. People who are more skilled, more experienced, and people who even clients who've been getting readings for years, especially those who have been receiving readings from various types of readers, and they come run across you, they're going to know something wrong. You charging how much? $100 for this? I could have got at facade.com and got a better turnout than what you just gave me for free. And again, back to there is no such thing as a free reading. Let me explain what I mean by that. There is no such thing as a free reading. reciprocity will happen, whether you like it to happen or not. And I know our hearts, those of us who are light workers, and we just really want to help other people, that's just in our nature. We want to help people. We'll run in a heartbeat to go help the next person who's in need, especially those who cannot afford services to get the help that they need. A lot of us have been there in that position to where we want the help, but we don't have the money to get the help. It's very painful to see and experience. I get it. If you give a reading for free, something is going to come from you in payment, whether you like it or not. That include that backache I was talking about earlier, when you don't open up ways for all kind of spirits to hop up in your grandma's house. Some gonna get ate up. Something is going to be taken from you. You're going to lose a lot of energy. That's like your bummy friend who always need a ride. You give them a ride, they don't give you no gas fare. You even have enough gas to haul them around wherever they're going and bring them back home, and then maybe even just enough for you to get home. You're going to want to use your car again. You're going to put some more gas in there some kind of way, borrow money, wait till you get paid the next day. But in order for you to use your ride, you're going to have to replenish that car some kind of way. And it might put you in a hole because you allowed something else or someone else to drain you of your energy instead of demanding, hey, I need something back. And what I mean by not necessarily monetarily, you could probably barter and trade, especially for you newbies out there. Maybe, you got a girlfriend or best friend who has a child or children, and they need, you might have a child or children, and your friend needs a reading. And you say, okay, I'll give you a free reading if you watch my kids a certain night of that week while you go relax, party, hang out, whatever it is that you want to do. Sounds like an even trade because the cost of childcare costs. And a few hours of watching your kids probably equates to how much a regular reading would cost. I say go for it. Or something to that extent. It doesn't have to necessarily be monetarily. It could be service for service. But that's totally up to the individual diviner. But you will not, shall not, cannot, should not give yourself free and expect that it's going to stay free. Because some kind of way, you will be drained. You will pay. Somebody going to pay for that reading. Spiritually, mentally, or physically. Somebody going to pay for that reading you gave. So be very cognizant of the energy that you give out, especially the skill that it takes to see what others have not tapped into and discovered their ability to see. You're tapped in and ready to go and able to see ancestors, spirits, see that person's past, present, future, whatever you can see, and able to tell them intricate details. And that takes, that's talking about it, wearing me out already. To be able to do that and then have it done for free. And you know what's a lot of debilitating thing? A lot of y'all come from monotheistic religions, especially in Christianity. That's where I'm from Christianity, not where I'm at. And we're taught in Christianity in a lot of poor communities that we're supposed to give our services to people in need for free. According to who? I need somebody to answer that. According to who? And the Spirit says you got to deliver a message. That's just delivering a message. We ain't saying that you seeing a bunch of stuff and going through a whole bunch of spiritual journeys and hooplas just to give somebody some information. The Spirit said, hey, tell that person that it's going to be all right. Or tell that person to do not go for the decision you want to go for. Or something specific that person needs to hear. And you just need to walk up to them there at the grocery store and Spirit telling you to trust it. And you ask that person if it's okay for them to tell you something. And they open and receive whatever it is that you're trying to tell them. And then you tell them, that's it. That was your job. You didn't pull out no cards. You didn't, no questions was asked, situations we talked about. You didn't give a long reading. Didn't last 15, 30 minutes, an hour. It didn't do any of that. You just delivered a message, took a few seconds, and go about your life. That's something different that you could do for free. But unless Spirit is saying for you to actually give that person a free reading for whatever reason, because they have to have it or whatever, that's on your discernment. But generally speaking, somebody need to tell me, why is it that we were taught that we're supposed to do this for your pastor, your reverend, the preacher at your church ain't doing their job for free? You honestly think they're doing this for free? What you think the tithing is about? It ain't actually going to heaven. It's paying for the West Wing of your church that ain't never been built. It's how you think Creflo Dollar and the rest of them getting these expensive materialistic things. Your tithings, the money that you put in the church, they're not up there doing that for free. You're paying them, okay? So why should we give of ourselves something sacred, something that's a spiritual gift to help someone for free? Oh, it's just the spirits want us to do because it's for the goodness. Y'all are still trapped in your religion that debilitates you and have energies eating you up alive on something instead of finding worth, being worthy of being paid for your expertise, your skills. So now it sounds like some low self-esteem, something going on if you think like that. There's nowhere, somebody need to point that out to me in whatever holy book that says that you're supposed to give of yourself, your skills and everything to help somebody else out in their personal life for free. Remember, there is no such thing as a free reading. And don't go around charging folks high-ticketed reading fees. And you just started giving, you ain't been giving readings 6 months. You ain't been giving readings a year. And you talking about charging folks $100, $250, $300 for a reading. I know you lying. This world is filled with talented individuals with unique ways of seeing and healing. There is no such thing as being a standard person because we don't all operate through life the same way. Therefore, our healing methods will not be standard. One healer uses their healing abilities by laying their hands on you. Another healer may play music, while another may heal with words while conversing with you. Another healer uses herbs, and another uses stones, crystals, and metals. And another healer uses symbols like sigils. You might even receive healing through bioenergetic assessment, and the list goes on. However, this world is also full of charlatans as well. There are people out here just out for your money. Half of those charlatans truly believe they are out here helping people, yet doing things that are debilitating to themselves and others with no formal training. They think they know full well what they're doing while tearing up lives left and right. We need to be very careful who we are exposing our sacred lives to. Readings are extremely private. As readers, we are often privy to sensitive information that the client thinks they're taking to their graves, with no one ever knowing their secrets. Readers must be ethical in this. Clients must use discernment too. If the reader's info doesn't resonate with you, get a second or third opinion from other diviners. To all clients seeking spiritual guidance, be careful and the absolute best of luck to you in your endeavors. To all fellow diviners and readers, may we continue to operate out of the space and energy of love and continue to do our part in healing the world one soul at a time. Peace. Did you enjoy? Ooh, I hope you did. Did you learn anything? I hope you gained a great wealth of information. Did this episode leave you with questions? I hope you got plenty of those too. Send your questions to MeMyddleton@gmail.com. You never know, your question just might be the next topic on the MeMyddleton Show. What would you like to see on the MeMyddleton Show? Do you have any suggestions? Send them over to MeMyddleton@gmail.com, and I'll be super happy to read your suggestions. If you're listening in on Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform, please leave a comment. If you're listening in on YouTube, leave a comment, click on the like button, click subscribe, and click on the notification bell to be notified of all uploaded videos. Check out my website at www.helpbyevena.com. That's HELPBYEVENAH.com. View merchandise, get a consultation, and listen to all episodes of the MeMyddleton Show. And remember, proper prior planning practically promotes persistent productivity and proud, pristine performances. Now, go practice your craft and perform. Until next time.